Hi, and welcome to another exciting episode of Dad's Train Room. Before we get started, let me get my engineer hat so I can look all official-like. She'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. Oh, here we go. Here's my hat. So today, we're going to be talking about our train platform. And hopefully, we'll be talking about the Pine Bluff train show next week that we're trying really hard to get ready for. And I'm hoping to have new interviews and new layouts that we talk about. So, sit back, relax, and let's get to it. Oh yeah, this can be great. Hey, that doesn't look like Dad's train mug. Yeah, let's get to work. So now that we have the primer on there, we're going ahead and painting it red. In this case, we are doing real red for the bricks. We're letting some of the gray show through, and later on we're going to go through and touch up a couple of the other bricks to make them a little different colors. But we're trying to get this ready in time for the show, so we're kind of rushing here. So we have the bricks painted up. There's a little gray in there for the mortar. The bricks are nice and rough, look nice, good and weathered. Good texture there. Now it's ready for the top pieces. And my experiments with printing different tops, they didn't work so well. If you remember, I decided to go with the plastic, and I put a couple holes in here. And then this fits right down here inside the bricks. The bricks on the top are raised just a little bit, so these kind of fit right in there. Then I got this guy here. I got more little holes. That's for the lamps. I got these two slots. That's for our little covered area. So we're going to put this down right here, and it fits right in place. Just like that. And it was a little delayed because I was getting frustrated. I thought that cutting these things out was going to be the easy part. But it turns out the method I picked for cutting it down didn't work very well. I didn't get a very good cut. And I was getting a little frustrated because it looked bad, it didn't fit right. I didn't know what to do. So I asked my friends. I asked people that knew what to do, how to do it. And my friends sat there and, well, I brought it to them. And they showed me how to cut this and make it right. And cut this and make this piece and put it in here. And like any good friend, we also made the seam so it lands right on top of one of the ribs for good support. But like I said, like any good friend, then I did the second one by myself, and they stood there and helped me hold things down and made sure I was doing it right so that I could learn how to do it. Next time, I can do it on my own. They were very helpful. I appreciate that. So cut it down to length, cut it across. It sits right down where it's supposed to. I picked a type of plastic that glues really well to the PLA plastic I use for the bricks. I have my slots here, so this guy, I put little lips when I printed it. So when I sit it down, it sits right on top of them. So it goes right there in my slots. And then I'll bolt down my lamp posts. And that is our train platform. Here, I'm gluing down my top pieces. So I have a bunch of random objects, but all I'm really concerned with is how much they weigh, so that pushes it down, makes good seal. And I'm putting the glue right there on the seam, and it will wick into place using capillary action. While we're waiting for this to dry, one of the other things I'd like to talk about that we're trying to get ready before the show is I would really like to have a Dad's Train Room sign at the show. But I can't leave it like that, it's not stable enough. So we will be designing and printing little stands so that it'll hold it about like this, maybe about a 15-degree angle I think, so that when everybody comes by they will see Dad's Train Room. And in the future I'll just be able to set that down on its stand and it'll be kind of neat that way. Here you'll see I have it turned upside down and I'm putting a little bit of glue on all the ribs, just trying to glue the top down real nice and solid so that it'll be stronger. At this point we're glued down nice and solid and I am starting to fasten the lamp posts. And I'm actually screwing these down into place with these little screws. Where do you get all these little custom screws, you ask? Good question. I went down to the hardware store. They were extremely helpful and we found just the right thing that'll fit my design. It's time for this guy. I have these slotted holes right here and he fits in just like this, just as designed. I put little lips on here so that I know that it's going to sit down just right, and we'll just glue them into place. We have our lamp post bolted down. We have this glued in place. I have the top off of it right now because I still have to run the wires in, because if you remember we plan on lighting everything up. That includes our lamp posts, because it'd be kind of boring if the lamps didn't light up. We're also going to glue some benches up underneath here so that when the train comes, our little guy can sit down right here and enjoy the shade that is the Arkansas Travelers train platform. We've been pretty hard at work here, Andrew and I. Everything's glued down. I even glued the benches in place. I'm going to go back later and paint those, I think. All the lamps have been bolted into place with the holes that we had already. And they've all been wired up for lights. We even put in the 2 LED lights for the sign. And remember, the wires for the LED lights go down through tubes in the middle of the stands here, because since we 3D printed it, we went ahead and 3D printed in the holes too. So we're here, let's try our test, see what happens. Oh, that's just what I wanted. That looks really good. Hey Andrew, get the light for a second. We're going to see how it looks in the dark. That's just the look I'm looking for. Lights on. A nice soft glow. Ideal. Nice and bright here so that you can easily read the sign. Perfect. Hey Linus, I heard the basketball team took the train to the big game last night.
Yes, but they wouldn't let them sit all together.
Why is that?
They made the athletic director sit and coach.
We went ahead and put this in place and we backfilled with our ballast, which is actually chip grit. Find it's just the right size for what we want. And then with a combination of Mod Podge, water, and just a touch of rubbing alcohol, we glued it down into place. When that dries, it'll dry nice and clear, and with that little bit of alcohol, it allows it to get down inside all the little cracks. So our platform is where it is, and we found a couple of small problems with it that we'll address after the show. Namely being the design for our top piece. I wanted to get as much coverage as possible, like you would in real life, because nobody wants to get wet going from the bench to the train. But when I did that, I found that the lanterns, just for the cabooses, get a little close. I think I know what I did when I designed it wrong, and I think it can be corrected by just lifting it up about 20 millimeters. So we'll try that at a later date. For the show, we're just not going to run cabooses, and that way we can all enjoy the platform itself. So I'd say this is just about ready to start receiving its first passenger-loaded trains.
See you next time, my dad's train room. All aboard. Go.
Hi, and welcome to another exciting adventure of Dad's Playroom.
Go.
Are we ready? You
Ready.
Yeah, okay. Alright. Surface. Heavy. Surface. Heavy. Got it.
Okay.